Hi, I'm Billie Eilish, and I will be breaking down my music video, What Was I Made For?
What was I made for?
The video idea, definitely just the image of me sitting there, yellow dress, 45-degree angle, desk, sage green background was just there. Like, I didn't even really think about it. I knew I wanted it to be a one take, and I knew that I wanted it to be, you know, have a deep meaning. Shocker. I was sitting there with like my mom and my team, and we were talking about it, and my mom was like, you could be folding clothes, and then Chelsea was like, what if they're mini clothes? And then we were like, what if they're like my old clothes? As soon as we kind of decided that it was gonna be all the old, you know, throughout my career moments, but like Barbie size, I was stoked. I was so excited. I kind of based the whole Barbie aesthetic on like the vintage Barbie. That was like the idea. And that's not the Barbie that I grew up with, but it's definitely like the coolest one. I don't know, it was just saving a lot of different photos of all different Barbie hair and all different like hair from that kind of period of time. I knew that I wanted it to be blonde, just like a classic Barbie blonde, and high ponytail, swoopy little curly bang. I did not think it would be as hard as it would end up being. It was a full wig. It was full on wig city. Ben Mojave did my hair. Ben, who has lived a lot of life and done a lot of things, said it was the hardest thing he's ever had to do. Because it was days and days of work, and also because it was a one take and it was gonna get super windy and it was gonna get rained on. It was a whole thing. So there were 2 wigs. Ben had quite a time having to deal with that hair. It was insane. I mean, I sat there for like 2 hours as he did the full thing, because the thing is, like, you can't put it into that ponytail unless it's on my head. The girls that came to take my measurements, we like looked at different shades of blonde and picked the correct one and what the bangs were gonna look like and how the hair was gonna look like it was growing. You know, wig knowledge is truly incredible stuff. It's very admirable the way that people know about it. There was potential to do anything, right? I could have done the full face of like Barbie, but I thought that, you know, given that I have this little cute Barbie dress, I've got the hair, I've got the little heels on, I'm like in this other world, I also wanted it to feel like it was also still me. I just wanted it to just be really simple and dewy and natural. Just like very like what I normally look like, I think, but just kind of made to look a little bit cleaner. My girl Emily Chang did my makeup. I was definitely rocking the waterproof makeup. I always end up having these ideas that make things really hard for me and for everybody else too. And everybody did such a good job of like not freaking out and just going with the flow, I guess is really the only way I can put it. Key makeup products, I mean, really key face products is just always Biba. Yeah, Biba de Souza. She's my esthetician, and she's like saved my life and my brother's life with our skin. I've had a good amount of acne and still struggle with it, and it's like been an ongoing thing in my life and my brother's, and Biba has really been like the key to skin. Well, you know, I never met my grandparents, and my mom's mom, my grandmother, used to make clothes for my mom when she was a girl. She still had them when I was growing up, and so I'd wear them, and I loved them, and they were these cute little like mod, boxy little dresses, and I always loved those. And I also, that was kind of the era of fashion that I was kind of going for, and that vintagey summertime Barbie. Yellow was just, I don't know, it was just in my, I don't know, it was just what I pictured. And then I had this random thought that blue would also be good. So I had this dress made in yellow and blue, and then on the day, you know, held them up right there at the desk and yellow was the obvious choice. But it's interesting how that works, like the butterfly effect of like, could have been blue, and something about that I think would have weirdly changed how the video feels. And I think it's really special to me that it's yellow, and the earrings are yellow, and the rings are yellow, and the hair is blonde, and the shoes are yellow. And then also, like, you know, the first little outfit that I pull out is the yellow rain suit that I wore for like bellyache. And that's also kind of special to me. And also yellow was the color that I used to wear every single day when I was like first known to anybody, and I thought that was kind of special. That was kind of like my color. All the little outfits that I pull out are all specific looks that I've worn over my life that have become, I don't want to say iconic about my own self, but like even in my own life, they are very sentimental to me because of big moments in my life. And I also wanted it to be like kind of cutting off at like 2020. Like I want it to be everything before this kind of more grown-up version of myself. Talking about what would be the most interesting ones to use and what were the most special ones for me and what do I feel like the fans would think of as the most special ones, and they are so cute and small. For the making of the tiny minis, it was Mattel, Sarah Paquette, and Liam Moore, and they absolutely smashed it. There's this one blue Gucci tracksuit that I wore a couple times, and I picked it up and I was looking at it and I was like, dude, this has all of the details of the actual outfit, like including the little sock part of it and the like waistband and the hoodie and the zipper, like everything was so exact. And some of them really needed to be that exact, like when the party's over with the black, you know, goo on my shirt and the different chains, and I have the one long chain that I used to wear, and I have the little bloche chain, and that they made a tiny little bloche chain. And then Lovely as well, like that was, when I shot Lovely, I just wore all black, and I was like, get me like a bunch of random bike chains. This is when I was like 15, 16. And I just had people bring piles of bike chains and regular random construction chains. And I just took them and like wrapped them around my body and like over my shoulder and like around my waist and around my neck. Having to recreate like a random thing that I just did in the moment when I was 16 on a tiny little doll was crazy, and they nailed it. And like the little crown, so small, so good. I wanted the world to change and things to change around me, and the world is like falling apart as I'm trying to keep these old versions of myself like safe. The fact that in one pass, everything went well, you know, and everything was manual. All the wind was like dudes standing there with fans, turning them on at the right time. The rain was a dude fucking turning it on at the right time. The shake in the desk was like a little machine inside that we built a desk so that we could have this little drawer with this little vibrating thing, and this dude went, and it was all people doing everything, and everything went perfectly somehow. We did 2 takes. We got it in 2 takes. The second take is the one that we used, which is like insane. Pretty much for everything that I've made, especially when it's like a 1 take or close to it, usually in my parents' backyard with my mother as the model, the stand-in, let's say, I shoot the video. I will go in the yard and I will make my mom sit somewhere and I will shoot her as me, and it's incredibly helpful for me, and it's I think incredibly helpful for everybody else. I'm very specific about when I want the camera to move, and you know, it's all very musical, and you know, sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with this, but sometimes, you know, DPs and editors and directors aren't as musical as you'd think, and I think that's like, some people just, that music just, they don't think with like rhythm, and some people do. And so for me, everything visual is all about rhythm. The camera moves right with the music and right with the music and stops with the, you know, it's like, that's the main part of it. And like growing up as a dancer, that's just like how I think about things. And I just want to make that really clear so that I'm not leaving anybody in the dust and being like, I want this. And they're like, here, I'm doing it. And I'm like, well, that's wrong. Like, it's stupid. I want to be as clear as possible and as least annoying as possible. I think a 1 take kind of is almost like a dance routine, and it reminds me of like a dance routine to a full song where you start your routine at the beginning of the song and you dance with your choreography, and then the song ends and that's the end of your dance, and you're not doing multiple different takes and you're not stopping and starting, you're doing the full thing. And yeah, I've never really thought of it that way, but that's absolutely what it is. That's so many people to have to be doing this dance at the same time, including myself. For a second I was like, ooh, I'm like so focused on all these different things that I like forgot that I'm should be doing stuff also. That's the other thing with directing, is kind of hard because you're like, okay, this is perfect, that's perfect, this looks great, and then you're like, oh, I'm on camera, like I need to be doing something too. And I'm acting, that's what it is, I guess. And acting is a whole other thing too, so it's fully a dance, it really is.
Are you ever gonna direct for other people?
I would love to direct for other people. I would be very honored if somebody wanted me to direct for them. I just need time. I just don't have time, girl. I barely have time to make my own videos. Playing a song for the first time live since it's been out is like one of the scariest experiences and one of my favorite things I get to do. It was wild. Yeah, I played Lollapalooza in Chicago, and it was gonna be my first time singing What Was I Made For live. And not only that, but like, it's truly like one of the hardest songs I've ever written to sing. And oh boy, was your girl. I don't really get like nervous, but I was just like, it's just really hard to sing. It's like very high and it's very soft and it's very back here. It's like some serious shit. And also, when you're on stage and you can hear the overtones of the piano in this giant area and the speakers and like the echo and the verb in the whole area and all the fans singing, it's really hard to hear the key. So like I could barely hear the key that I was in, and then I felt like I was flat and I was freaking out. But aside from all of that, you look out and it's thousands of kids literally bawling their eyes out and singing the lyrics to a song that just came out, It was mine and nobody knew it even existed, and then suddenly thousands of people know it and it means something to them, and that's just truly priceless, Ugh, it's crazy. Getting to write this song was, like, I will be forever grateful for being given the opportunity to write it and then writing it, because writing it was incredibly cathartic for me and incredibly like important for my life. And like even if that song never came out, like I really needed to write that song. And Phineas and I wrote that whole song in pretty much a day. I filmed the whole thing. We have the whole video of us recording the entire song on film, and just getting to work with my brother on everything is so special, and especially with that song. He really sees me, and it's unfortunately rare to be seen, especially by somebody who you love and loves you and really knows you. It's like listening to it again, and I was truly like, this about me? Like, I guess it is. I said earlier that I felt like Alexa Demie in Euphoria when they're watching Lexi's play. She's like,
Wait, is this fucking play about us?
that was me listening to myself write a song. The song is like being covered like nobody's business, like constantly. The way that this song has been received has been astounding to me. It's really, truly incredible and surreal. Thank you so much, Allure. I love you all. I will see you someday. Thanks for having me.